What is going on, everybody? MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I have an absolutely incredible video for you, really hyped about it. Today I'm going to show you, in my opinion, from my testing, who the most hard-hitting champions are in this game, not including any extra factors like surplus damage, debuff snapping, things of that nature. So we're looking for simply a single hit raw damage hitter, how much damage they can do. So let's go over the contestants really quick. I have narrowed it down to 3 people, and they will not be, in my opinion, who you expect them to be. So let's get right into it. The first champion, who is probably the most anticipated and common contestant, is going to be Mountain King. I do have a champion spotlight on Mountain King, which I will link on the screen somewhere around here. So if you are interested in Mountain King, definitely check out that video. So let's go over the stats that I gave this guy. The gloves, we have crit damage, crit rate, we have health and a savage set. Total sets really quick without getting too mixed up. We have savage gear and immortal gear. So we have an HP percent chest, speed boots with that triple HP roll on the boots, the shield, crit damage, triple roll, crit rate, and triple roll crit weight on the weapon as well. Now we have an HP shield with an attack roll, crit damage neck, and HP ring with attack. Not ideal, but it's what I could do. Total stats, we have 107,000 health, 2900 attack, 166 speed. One thing to know on all of these champions, I did give them all speed boots instead of electing to give them HP percent boots, attack boots, something like that. I wanted to make it a fair test around, so this is what I did. 100% crit as we see, and 240% crit damage. As we can see on the screen here, for the masteries, I gave him Helm Smasher along with the same one-shot build that I use on all of the champions you've ever watched any of my other videos. So through this test, we are going to make sure that we do see the Ignore Defense Helm Smasher proc, where we decide to test the damage out. The next champion we have on our list today is the Void Epic Faceless. Faceless is a really cool champion. He recently helped me get 21 Night Revenant Faction Wars. He made it extremely easy, so that was awesome. We have a crit damage set, we have an attack set, and a speed set here. On the gloves, we have obviously crit damage and crit rate. Attack percent on the chest piece. Unfortunately, it's not 6-star, so it might be a slight crutch there. This was just the best I could whip up. We have speed boots here, crit rate. We have a plus 12 shield. We cannot roll attack percent on the shield, so there's no point in going past 12 on this. For the helmet, we have crit damage and crit rate once again, and crit damage, crit rate. On our ring, attack and attack, crit damage on the neck, attack on the banner. One of the key points to this guy's skills, because I've never done a spotlight and never gone over him, is A3 will ignore all defense, so 100% ignore, which is absolutely huge. It makes it a lot easier to build this champion. His A2 also hits hard, so we will get into that when we get there. Masteries, as mentioned before, he ignores all defense, so we didn't have to take Helm Smasher. Took the initial one-shot build as well as the crit damage mastery to bump that up a little bit more. Total stats, he has 32,000 health, 4,400 attack, 176 speed, 96 crit rate, 297 crit damage. Really excited to show him. Should get some pretty big numbers from this guy. Now let's move on to the monster himself, KnightErrant. This is a Spirit Affinity Banner Lords attack epic, and he's an awesome champion. I mean, you're going to see, but let's just go over his gear. We have 6 pieces of cruel gear on him. He definitely has an unfair advantage. He does have the best gear out of all the champions, so I did my best to equalize all of the gear for what the champions needed. Faceless was a bit harder to gear since I didn't have a lot of gear left after gearing the other 2. However, he does still have above average gear, so this will still be an awesome test. Moving back to KnightErrant, we have crit damage gloves with that triple roll attack percent. We have an attack percent chest piece with the triple roll crit rate. We have speed boots as mentioned before. We have a quad roll on the shield for crit damage, double crit damage, double attack, and triple crit rate on his weapon. We have an attack ring, crit damage neck, and a attack banner. Going over his total stats, we have 5,900 attack, 152 speed, 102 crit rates, and 273 critical damage. Going over his skills really quick, we have attacks one enemy, has a chance to place a weaken, damage is increased by 75% if this champion has full health, so that is awesome. We also have an ability that resets the duration of the cooldown if it does kill a champion, so this is really cool to have at your disposal if you are going to use him in somewhere like an arena or use him to one-shot other mobs in any dungeon you're looking to use this champion. For the masteries, we have, as I mentioned before, Helm Smasher on anyone who doesn't ignore defense with the one-shot build once again. So what I want to do to set this up and make it as fair as possible, I chose Dragon 16. It is Void Affinity. I didn't want to give any of the champions the opportunity to gain a positive affinity on this, so I did choose Void. Also, I'm going to be, as we will see in the runs, I'm going to stack the leader aura that makes the most sense for the champion. With Mountain King's highest multiplier being HP, I am going to give him a HP lead from Santa. We have Arbiter with the speed boost and attack up, which doesn't have a lot of effect on Mountain King. We have the defense down and weaken from Dracomorph and increased critical damage from Whirlim Frost King. So let's take this guy for a spin and see how much damage our Mountain King can do. So we had the turn meter boost there. And we'll test this girl. She's right in front. We should see the numbers very clearly there. Let's start off with increased crit damage on everybody. Ooh, that almost killed. That could be a problem going forward. We will start with the A2 ability from Mountain King. Let's see what we can get here. So 283,000 damage. Hopefully we can cycle through. Let's boost the turn meter and not kill everybody so we can test out that A3 ability. Alright, so I tried to make it work in the next wave by using the A3 ability, but cooldown's desynced. I ended up killing all of the champions, so now we're going to test Mountain King's A3. And alright, here we go. A3 ability on this chick. Let's see what kind of numbers we can get here. 172, so the A2 was the hardest hitting ability. I wasn't looking to see if it ignored the defense, and I probably should have been doing that. Now the next champion we're going to test here is Faceless. So we swap to a Royal Guard lead for the increased attack aura. Defense down weaken. Let's increase the crit damage here. Now let's test out his A3 Ice Bolt, which ignores defense on this champion. 178,000. Not bad. Obviously not as good as Mountain King, but still a hard-hitting ability nonetheless. Alright, now that we tested out Ice Bolt, let's go ahead and test out Faceless A2 ability. Now we increase the crit damage here. Let's go ahead and hit him with the A2 called Lightning. 190,000 damage. So once again, we have our legendary that has reigned the champion of this stage 16 Void Dragon Run damage test so far. Alright, our final contender in this mini competition is KnightErrant. We still have Royal Guard as lead with the attack aura. Defense down and weaken. Let's increase the crit damage. Let us start out with his A3 ability, Death Warrant. Oh my goodness, 526,000 damage from the A3. Absolutely incredible. I'm not even sure if... I didn't look if ignore defense procced. I really didn't. You know what, let's just test it again. We're going to put this on 1x speed because I am in shock right now. So let's look at this champion. I mean, I know he has a high multiplier and does a ton of damage, but that is absolutely insane damage for an epic. All right, so let us test Death Warrant once again, and let's see if we can see the ignore defense text rise on the screen here. 601,000 damage with Helm Smasher proc. That completely blows all of them out of the water except for the surplus damage from Dracomorph. That is absolutely insane. Now I want to see what his A2 does. His A3 hits hard, we know that, but what does the rest of his kit look like? I don't know, I'm excited. I'm all about hard-hitting champions, and this guy is one hard-hitting epic, let me tell you. Especially compared to a Mountain King that we know hits so hard. So let's test out this A2 right now. The same champion. Let's look for the ignore defense text. So 260,000 with the ignore. Now let's take a look and see what his A1 has to offer here. Increase that critical damage. Now let's take a look at what his A1 has to offer. So 219k with an ignore. We're getting really lucky here on a hot streak with ignoring and Helm Smasher procking. The only thing I'm considering now is that it's really hard to tell when Helm Smasher is procking and when it's not procking, since I just thought about it. He is wearing cruel gear, so it will say ignore defense on all of them. But still, the numbers we've seen from KnightErrant, absolutely unbelievable. So what I really want to do now is, we have our winner. Like, we hands down have our winner. I'm sure I could find maybe a little bit better quality gear for the other two contestants, but being honest, not enough to close the gap between all of them. So really quick, on a quick test, let's go into the clan boss. Let me just burn a key, and I mean, this is going to desync, so I don't really care about that. I just want to see what he can do. He doesn't have War Master, so it's not going to be a ton of damage, but I'm really curious as to how much damage this champion can pull off in Clan Boss. If the damage is high enough, I would absolutely consider 100,000 on the A1. All right, awesome. Let's see this A3 here. I don't have an attack up, and I have no source of an attack up. Let's take a look. Above 75% health. I think I'm above 75. Let's see. 185,000. So obviously not the huge number we saw before. Still a ton of damage. Let's throw this on auto and just look at it really quick. Obviously 296 enemy max health. He does apply leech, so this could definitely be a champion that maybe you want to be interested in building. Obviously you wouldn't be able to build full damage with a champion like this. However, he does apply leech. I do have a leech video. I will provide a link to that leech video above, somewhere around here again, in case you're curious about that. So let's see, what is the viability of this roster? I'm very curious. Properly giving him War Master. As you can see, he does hit pretty hard, over 100k on every single ability. So lowering his damage, increasing his survivability, giving him War Master. Can he be a potential asset to your clan boss team? Or to my clan boss team for that matter? Can I run him in Unkillable with War Master and see exceptional results? Really not sure, but he does add leech. I don't really need leech in a setting like this. Alright, so there is a desync here, and we can just watch these big numbers here. And this is just incredible, being honest with you. 154. He doesn't do quite as much as Richthof the Bull did with his poison affected ability. One thing to keep in mind is clan boss and armor and all of these interactions between the champions, they do work very differently than in dungeons and arena. That is something to consider, especially Savage Gear. I know I've never talked about Savage Gear in the clan boss, but I can tell you from testing it, the results aren't as good as you would expect. So really quick, right off the bat, we have 2.2 million damage from KnightErrant, 2 minutes and 20 seconds compared to 3.4 from Septimus with War Master, 5.7 from Draco with War Master, 1.3 Tower, and 800,000 from Skull Crusher. They all have War Master on them. I have to say I'm impressed with this champion. I've known he was hard hitting before, I've seen him one-shot many people in the arena, but the amount of damage he is doing with the gear I put on him is absolutely absurd. Especially consistent across all 3 abilities, and like I mentioned, he does provide leech as well, so that is very important. Alright guys, thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it and creating it. If you enjoy content like this, leave a comment below, tell me what else you guys want to see. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next project. I'm not too sure what it is yet. I know a lot of people said do a Cupidus guide after seeing my previous Cupidus in the Richtoft the Bold Champion Spotlight. So love the feedback you guys are giving me. Love the support you guys are showing me. Thank you again, and until next time everybody, peace out.